lot of commitment from TNC to keep Armel alive. They do understand the prioritization of this gyro. He needs that early farm, he needs that early levels. One movement like that from Adroit and suddenly you have two supports leaving their side lanes. That could cause issues. That does free it up for Adroit, and we have seen them do this before. The moment you give them leeway in these side lanes, they can find a lot more to play with.
No, he found the first one. It looks like Mac was trying to go in for a kill attempt there, but ends up dying first, and Armel will happily just kill himself off and get a reset on the gyrocopter. But that is going to be a very, very important kill for that gyro. Definitely gives him a bit of a lead after that laning phase.
Bit of an even exchange for sides. Not going to be too upset. Going to be a bit better for Armel. Does find that kill while he's alive. Soak a little bit. But Mac does get some additional creep.
Well, looking back down at the bot lane, Gabby's been farming okay on the Void, but Bok has been a little bit frustrating on this Batrider. There's really not much you can do if you're Gabby, and we talked about this before where there's only so many times he can time walk the damage off that Bok is dishing out. Time dilation does help him quite a bit, however, and Gabby just be forced to back off again. He has to play this very safe. Like when you look at Natsumi's farm, Natsumi's just really getting so much further ahead. Currently about 18 last hits ahead of the Void.
It's a good time for the troll. That's all happening while Boomy is playing the jungle. So he's playing this super greedy Magna support that just isn't being hunted down.
Tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
TNC gonna try and force in that mid tower very, very early. This is one of the things you can try and do up against a Chen draft, right? Where you try and get that map control before they start trying to go for it. Because once they try, you can't really stop it though. Bot lane Gabby almost falls very low on that Batrider. What I was trying to say, John, is if you can force down these important towers early on, if you are on TNC, it almost denies Adroit that option to try and do it themselves. In fact, Mac zips in, homing missile, going to be dodged, but the T1 does still go down. And Mac essentially finds himself with that lane.
He has really played much more aggressive down mid. They're playing around Armel much better. This is sacrificing their side lanes, and you actually look at the net worth difference. Adroit, even though it's a 1-to-1 in terms of kills, Adroit is 3k ahead in net worth. They've found a lot more farm on the map and a lot more efficiently because they're giving space to these greedier supports to find that jungle farms. Boomy is going to be set to have a decent time for his blink. You have Bok who is having basically free time down bot, although
do commit cooldown or commit chrono for this Batrider kill, and Bok barely goes down. He didn't have any stick charges to commit. That was a lot committed for that first Batrider kill, but I suppose if you have the chrono, if you have the cooldown, just commit it. Just get a kill out of it.
That's definitely how TNC has to play this. They've got to play it. You need to shut down that troll. You can't give space to Adroit to try to hit their timings. You have to start shutting down this map. There's way too much jungle farm being taken by Adroit right now. This is how they're going to recover. Mac needs a lot of this to get started. You do have a lot more leeway for Natsumi as he hasn't been tested up top. But they find Armel.
They do. Still, he does have the IO, but now the lasso back. Tibbs has no choice but to follow Armel and try to keep him alive, and it won't be enough. Armel actually still falling. Still getting burnt down by the flame break, I believe it was, of Bok, but it does not end up being enough. A very, very close call, however.
It's a lot of committal from TNC to keep Armel alive. Basically, never seeing Armel without his two supports. Have Tim's around, and even March kind of has to stay in that general area where the gyrocopter is. So once more, you're keeping your gyrocopters safe. It's coming at the cost of giving farm to everyone else on Adroit's side. Yeah, you managed to find Bok a couple of times. He's still going to get that pretty decent timing on the Boots of Travels and the Blink. And once that's up, of course, he's just going to be a menace around him.
We see March trying to be very disruptive on that Grimstrike. trying to really take some farm away from Natsumi. He was just farming up stacks. March will try to take an outpost for himself prior to that 10-minute mark. He will, but should be taken back in time. I say that, but TNC look to try and set up a team fight up at that top lane now. They are going to try and force in that tier 1 tower. Doomy's the only one there just freely farming up on the Magnus, but KB going to commit the Stampede. And that'll be the level 4 Magnus going down, and that should allow TNC to pick up this tier 1 tower.
Gonna find really easy objective so far. Adroit is not going to be fighting this one here. They're the ones taking the backseat this time around. They're the ones playing a bit more passive. It's up to TNC to really maximize this spike, this advantage they do. They're going to have Chrono up on Gabby in about 10 seconds. You would want to see another Chrono flying out, try to find a couple of easy kills, and go for more objectives. Perhaps that tier 1 down bot. That's going to be a very easy target to take, or maybe start pressuring a tier 2.
You still kind of question what's happening with Natsumi though, like, he's 4.9k, Matt's right behind him on the Storm. Speaking of Matt, John, he's 1.3k ahead of the gyrocopter. Now there's going to be a bit of a team fight up top, or rather, Grid is going to try and defend this KB, but it's a very nice boost onto bot. RP is available on Movie. They're going to be careful about that, but he does commit the skewer. And the droids just aren't ready to team fight yet. But back to my point, in terms of cores, Adroit is really finding so much more farm.
They definitely are. They're 5k ahead over TNC despite being so far behind. Although the Chrono onto Mac, that should be a good kill.
If it is a kill, Mac will just zip away. Yeah, he's gone. Just TPs.
Oh,
what are you going to do about
it? They had the relocate on Armel. They did land inside a Chrono, so they could really preemptively cast a homing missile to try to keep him in place. And that just cost him. That would have been a nice kill. We talked about the timing of the Chrono. At the very least, Gabby's trying. It doesn't pay off, and that's more time for Adroit to farm up. 5k lead a minute earlier. They're still getting really good farm distribution. Umi is just about 500, 700 gold away from that blink. And
RP does come out from Boomy. They found Tim's and Armel. City's up without his IO. And that's kind of what you're worried about. Like, the gyrocopter just does nothing once the IO is dead. Tim's is kind of just playing a hero that can't do anything on his own. He's very reliant on being with that gyrocopter. And, well, with all this farm going Adroit's way and with no signs of slowing down, like TNC, you kind of wonder, what do you do? Like, is Gabby really going to find enough farm to keep up?
Gonna need a lot, and they really need to play around at Chrono. This is a really strange situation. Normally when you're 2 towers behind, you have a bit of a network lead. TNC have neglected to farm so much that it's costly. We'll find Bot.
Nice kill. So do get the Bat Rider.
It's under attack.
It kind of feels like a distraction here from Bot though, doesn't it? Like, you've kept this Bat Rider down fair enough, and it's going to take him another while to get that blinker. But now you look at Boomy, he has a blinker.
That's it. That's what Adroit's waiting for. They've got ways to set their plays up. They've got ways to take these team fights. We already saw the effect of his RP without it. Like, he just catches 2 heroes. That's enough. That's all you need to catch the IO gyrocopter. That's always going to be enough to fight for you.
Top lane Bok, keeping an eye out on Tims and Armel. He does have the lasso, would love to just drag Tims away. Tims, flame break does connect as he tries to tether. Bok will not chase any further. And looks like TNC have now grouped up as 3 and started smoking. You do have the Chrono that just came off cooldown for Gabby, and he wants to commit it immediately. However, it is going to be into another 4 or 5 man smoke here from Adroit. And are they going for a Roshan play, or are they going for a gank? Well, they'll spot out Gabby on the Void. They must know Chrono is available, but they'd love to just go for the team fight anyway. In fact, Gabby may give Chrono, and he does. It's on the Storm, but now the grab back on the KB match. He's survived through the Chrono. He's down 3 of them, and they're all going to fall apart as well. He'll try to run away. Tims will buy back immediately. gets taken out. They do at least find the top warlord, however. Battle Pass was popped too early on, and now the relocate Tims. They're going to try and find something more out of this from Matt. He's taking out CML. Can you get a TP cancellation? No Bash is coming out. Oh boy, they found the troll warlord, but you committed buybacks for that.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
That is, I don't know if I call that well worth it.
No, definitely not. Not with the amount of buybacks are worth. Adroit can be extremely happy with how that fight went. The Chronosphere is just not enough. Kill off Mac with the form he has, and with the damage on Gabby, they had Armel around towards the end. Not quite enough. They need the gyrocopter around to get that damage off onto Mac. Otherwise, that Chrono committal is not going to be enough, and they don't have any other way of keeping control on Mac. Chronosphere gone, he's going to zip around just fine. This is going to be a constant issue for TNC. With that Chrono expended, this is an opening for Adroit. They don't have RP, but they can force out some ganks at offs if they so.
But they're going to get back up to that top lane, TNC. They continue to try applying pressure. Boomy, he's going to find March with the Grimstroke. Instorm going to be there with the silence. He cuts you away, but Matt is there to help his necessary. In fact, the whole team's there. Boomy has already died. Matt trying to find a trail to March. They can't get fast enough, and that'll be enough. They run away. TNC, I doubt they chase any further. And they do back off.
Lot of caution from TNC while this Chrono is down. I do respect that they still are trying to play aggressive when they can. That was a really from Boomy. I think he was trying to get the skewer off, trying to wait out or kill off that silence out. Quite enough that by himself gets punished for it. That is a clean pick off for TNC. This is the moment where they're kind of playing cautiously. Gabby is forward. Could be targeted here. He does have, well, now he doesn't, but gonna have to be cautious as.
Yeah, relocate is coming in Voltage's way. Gabby, Chrono in a second. He will have it up very soon with the lasso. A second before he had it. And now the farm coming. CML will take him out in tins. Timing from Adroit. Just perfect. And now poor KP gets slowed up. It's Vortex up. He has to commit the stampede. But 30 says no. You're going nowhere. Sit down, young man.
Adroit just all over the map, always finding these big kills. You just can't afford to leave for a moment in enemy jungle when Adroit is just basically down. They had the outpost. No one was TPing and no one going in to help anyway. They lose a tier 1 for their troubles as well. And Adroit is still holding on to that solid 8k lead. There's nothing fluctuating here. Constantly, Bloodstone coming out for Mac that's going to allow him to just zip around wherever he wants with less of concern for working for its up with the RP. Vortex AoE follow-up. Just so much control that could come out here from Adroit. It is a bit scary. They've got to, TNC has got to find a way to kill off Mac.
They haven't yet. You've got Gabby with the Diffusal Blade, and I guess, you know, if he can drain the mana of Mac and Chrono, even if he doesn't kill him, it may just be enough. Mac has not been very concerned about that yet, that's for sure. And he's just getting bigger and bigger, especially with that Bloodstone. He just has so much sustain. And, well, Natsumi, what's he got coming on the way? He's got a Yashra. Mid lane Matt gets jumped on, Silence is there, he has Chrono. He may have to commit and does. But look how healthy this Storm is, John. He won't die. Soullight comes up, they heal him up, and now Boomy jumps in. No RP available, they actually do find Matt. They found Boomy as well. Now they need to go for more. It's not enough. The flame break off, that was not the one you're looking for. Maybe it was. The lasso, Gabby goes down. They have chased too fast. KP will also lose his life. And maybe 2 kills was enough. Maybe they should just ran away. Is March. He knows. He tries, but he is dead.
Just not even trades here. TNC, they do at least find the kill on Mac, but they lose out on Gabby anyway. That's slow. for TNC. This is going to allow Adroit to just straight up go to the Roche. They know the Chrono's down. They've got a troll with a Morbid Mask, straightforward Roche play.
Yeah, that's quite fast. I guess they just give the... You'd assume they'd give the Aegis to Matt, sure, but... No, soon you'll take it. Okay.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
It's fair enough. I think it's still much more value on the Storm, though.
On paper, it does give Natsumi technically 3 lives to play with. He has a lot more leeway to just stand and fight.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, he does have more net worth as well, so I guess it makes enough sense if you look at the efficiency of play. However, Arnold does go for a heavy Talbot here.
I think they
Fair enough. You've got the disarm now, but...
Like, you need to stop Natsumi from getting that damage out. That's going to give you a very good way to negate his battle trance entirely.
They're going to need that soon, as Adroit is pushing in that T2 mid tower. No chrono available on Gabby for another 40 seconds. Armel. Disarm. Box with pro lasso. Skewer back. All they found is KP. Call down will be committed, and Adroit will simply walk out of the big circle. You reset, you keep going. Natsumi says let's keep going, and Matt goes to the vortex. Back onto KP. They want that Centaur gone, and now a soul line to be expended. And so they're forced out 2 ultimates for the really nothing. Like, TNC don't get anything out of them at all. But Adroit, they don't feel confident, they do want to back off, and I suppose that's fair enough. Like, right now there's just no rush for them.
There were opportunities there. Boomy hasn't expended the RP, although the Chronosphere is back up from Gabby. That could be why the hesitation was there. They are keeping track of that ult usage quite well from Adroit and TNC. They've been playing around the time of that Chrono well from Gabby, but Adroit seems to be... Every single time they just kind of toss Mac in front. They know Mac is always going to be the biggest target. He's in front. They did manage to clean him up last time around, but that wasn't in the duration of Chrono. That was because they got the Soulbind off. Adroit are still happy to extend that Chrono without any kills happening during Chrono. That's always going to be the trade Adroit is looking for.
So bot lane. Adroit will take the T2 tower. TNC, they're trying to set up for the top tier 2, but they are going to have to come back and defend this. There's a tier 3 about to be taken down by Adroit if they're not too careful. Every ultimate on the map is available apart from the Soulbind. That'll be 10 seconds away on the Grimstroke anyway. Adroit, they do not choose to pursue. They'd rather back off. With the 13k net worth, you certainly don't want to give TNC away back into the game by losing a huge team fight. So you can understand why Adroit is being rather cautious about this. Natsumi, going to bait Arnold forward. Boomy looking to find a skewer for himself. They'd love to find Gabby first, but he does have Chrono available. Skewer back from Boomy. He doesn't want to risk getting caught in the Chrono. KP now. Gonna be fine as well. So they jumped on Mac. He actually finds the void. Way out of position. Gabby.
Just trying to farm in that downtime. Punished hard for it. They still have the RP on Boomy, mind you. They've got a lot of tools here to force a fight out.
No buyback on the void.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
This is the chance. Definitely they're going to find a tier 2 tower, like there's no doubt about that. But the question is, do they try and force a tier 3? I think you do. I think you try to force a buyback and you'll find that there is a way back box. He's good ball from Matt. He found KP the same. He wants to move all the way to down the other. He comes in. Boomy found 2 of them and blows them up. And it looks worse and worse for TNC as time goes on. As now Adroit should be able to clean up that first lane of rats. There is some legitimate concern about Gabby and the Chrono. And in fact, with that Heaven's Harbor being popped up, soon as you want it back, well, he still has an Aegis. He knows it's going to expire soon anyway, so he may as well risk his life. And Mel going to start to really try and pressure him back. The Aegis should go. In fact, Natsumi's just telling him, take it. Just take it. The disrespect of Natsumi as he runs away. And TNC, I guess they still have Chrono, but this is still a dangerous team fight to take. Looks like Adroit will back off anyway.
They're going to be very happy with that. These managed to use the Aegis right before expiry. They take melee racks. They take tower, tier 3 tower of the game as well. It's just pretty much that. 8 to 14. 18k net worth lead. And half these. I mean, that's not something you see too often when the enemy team's running the Gyrocopter IO. They're supposed to be the ones farming up. They're the ones who are supposed to be bigger, at the very least, on Gyrocopter. Like, maybe a bit more even in terms of... Gyrocopter should definitely be way more farmed up now. Even Gabby is taking the backseat in terms of farm. His Faceless Void only has the Defusal. Alacrity, nothing else.
Well, no, we'll have the Aghanim Scepter up soon on the Gyrocopter, but I don't think that's going to be enough. Like, just TNC, they're just so behind. The map's getting smaller and smaller for them. They go up as 4 to the top lane. Oh, Bot, he does pop his head.
Kausap ka? Ha? May kausap ka?
Broken. March. Cannot survive. That's the Grimstroke gone with no buyback. Smackdown on straight up. Tip on the Yano. He's got the look at Johnny. Couldn't follow the up. He comes out again. They're melting. They're just gone. Oh no, will also die. No buyback available on the gyro. Tim's brought back, but who's he got to tether to? That's it. GG's call. They've had enough.
Boy, taking it 2-0. It's TNC. Really clean game number 2. They got the boombacks. Man. Reason why in
Just want the best for us. Hindi sila ihinyan. Pagkatapos ng wildflower. Pag nadadasa. Okay naman si sinasabi nitong Hachi.